Okay, example 8 says find the area and perimeter of the following trapezoid. So a trapezoid is a geometric quadrilateral. The properties of a parallelogram, or sorry, of a trapezoid, one pair of sides is parallel only. So this side's parallel to that side. The ones that look parallel are the parallel sides. Once they say trapezoid, you have to have parallels. So the ones that look parallel are parallel in that case. All right, and you have a top base, we'll call that base 1. And you have a bottom base, we'll call that base 2. It doesn't matter which one's base 1 or base 2, there's just two different bases. And then you have a perpendicular height. The other two sides don't factor into area, but they do factor into perimeter. So again, if we're imagining this swimming pool, we're going to have a lot of small swimming pools in this lesson. So this is the swimming pool at the Barbie Dream House, that's what it is. So it says find the, I'm going to do perimeter first because I think that's easier. So perimeter, again, if I'm at one corner of this pool and I'm walking around the pool, I'm walking 8 inches, then 7 inches, then 9 inches, then 19 inches, and I'm back to my starting point. I did not go through the pool, so I don't include the 6 inches. So perimeter is simply the outside numbers added up. So the perimeter is going to equal 8 inches plus 7 inches plus 9 inches plus 19 inches. We add them up. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 9 is 24. 24 plus 19 is 43. So 43 inches is the perimeter of our trapezoid. There isn't really a formula for perimeter, just you add up all the sides. So it's more of a concept as opposed to a formula. Area of a trapezoid, that is a little bit more unpleasant. It's not impossible, but the area formula for trapezoid is this. It does look a little intimidating because of the subscripts, but again, I've got a first and a second base. I've got two bases represented. I want to use the letter B to represent base, but they're not the same number. So I'm going to use subscripts to demonstrate that one of the bases and the other base aren't the same number. So specifically what I want to identify to find the area of a trapezoid are the height, which is the distance between the two perpendicular sides at a right angle. So that's the height. And base 1, which is one of the two bases, and base 2, which is the other base. And again, it does not matter which one's base 1, which one's base 2. They get added together. When you add numbers, the order doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter which one's base 1 and base 2. Okay, so if I fill in what I know in this problem, 1/2 is just 1/2. Height is 6. Base 1 is 7, and base 2 is 19. There's my area formula being implemented. Quick note on units. The unit of 6 is 6 inches, right? 7 inches and 19 inches get added together to make 26 inches. Inches times inches becomes inches squared. So again, area should be a square unit when you're doing these problems. So when I'm looking at this problem and I got area equals 1/2 times 6 times 26, there's always this parentheses, so there's always this sum of things, so make sure you add those together. And then feel free to use a calculator to evaluate it, or you can use your brain if you're fine with that. I'm going to use a calculator. These numbers are going to get a little larger than normal, so I'd probably expect you guys to use a calculator at this point. I'm going to make my calculator bigger so we can see it better. So 1/2. So the way, it depends on your calculator. The way you enter 1/2 on a calculator, either you type in 1 divided by 2, that's 1/2. Once I hit times, now we're back to a multiplication. So now we're back to the top, times 26. So that's how you type it in. Let me make this even bigger. 1 divided by 2 is 1/2, times 6 multiplies by 6, times 26 multiplies by 26, we get 78. So 8 equals 78 inches squared. But again, height is 6 inches, 7 plus 19 is 26 inches, 6 inches times 26 inches The inches multiply to make the inches squared. All your area formulas will make the units multiply by themselves to make a square unit within the formula. The formulas themselves, again, will be supplied during quizzes and tests. In the sense of homework problems, if you go back within the chapter that we're dealing with, that's where the area and formulas will be for these specific figures. So if you just glance back page 2, 3, or 4 pages from the homework assignment that you're on, you'll probably run into these formulas somewhere in the book.